Welcome to Economic Business Insights. In today's Editor's Corner, we unpack South Africa's 2025 Medium-Term Budget Policy Statement, the MTBPS, delivered on the 12th of November. It arrived at a moment of profound economic reckoning, a crossroads where the nation must decide how to fund its future while still paying for the debts of its past. The finance minister stood before Parliament, facing the single most critical question confronting the nation. How do we pay for tomorrow, when yesterday's debt is already strangling today? South Africa is caught in a powerful contradiction, one defined by two competing yet deeply intertwined stories. On one hand, we're lost in what can only be described as a debt maze. Our sovereign debt has surged to roughly 77% of GDP, and both the IMF and OECD warn it could breach 80%. This isn't just an abstract number on a balance sheet. It's a fiscal chokehold. The cost of servicing that debt now outweighs what we spend on essential services, even health. This debt trap is fueled by structural weaknesses. A narrow tax base, governance failures, and those never-ending bailouts for struggling state-owned enterprises. As one analysis put it so powerfully, the endgame isn't about repaying debt, it's about convincing investors that you can. But on the other hand lies a far more hopeful path, the path of investing in complexity. Because the only true way out of this debt maze is to build an economy capable of sustained, high-value growth. South Africa's chronic unemployment, stubbornly above 30%, and its sluggish, unequal growth are all symptoms of an economy that hasn't evolved. We remain too reliant on low-value commodity exports, trapped in a model that rewards extraction rather than innovation. To break free, we need a blueprint for complexity, a three-pronged investment in. Number 1, infrastructure, rebuilding our railways, ports, and power systems. Number 2, technology, expanding digital transformation and innovation, like the multi-billion rand investments from Microsoft and Google. And number 3, human capital, nurturing the skills, research, and creativity that power modern economies. This MTBPS must be the starting point, not the finish line. In this issue, we explore these ideas in greater depth. Our feature story, Investing in Complexity, the new blueprint for South Africa's structural transformation, lays out the strategy for a more dynamic, innovation-driven economy. The second story, Navigating the Debt Maze, South Africa's public debt dilemma and the road to credible adjustment, examines how our public debt is more than a fiscal problem, it's a development dilemma. Without structural reform and credible growth plans, debt could become an anchor dragging us further behind. Our third story, The Great Recalibration, a new economic calculus for the discerning investor in Africa, takes a broader continental view, analyzing the 2025 Africa Risk-Reward Index and what it means for investors seeking growth in complexity. And in the Business Corner, we track the trajectory of the South African Rand Overnight Index Average, ZARONIA, to understand its growing role in the nation's financial ecosystem. This is Daniel Makina, Managing Editor of Economic Business Insights. Thank you for tuning in to the MTBPS Crossroads, from a debt maze to an investment blueprint. Stay informed, stay inspired, and remember, the future belongs to those who invest in complexity.